Cassandra Gomez, who says this loss is like no other.
Dariel was my brilliant student. And I'm so sorry. I've tried to hold it together.
Superintendent Tondra Williams says it's her mission to improve preventative measures, update training, and ensure interventions are in place so children who are hurting know where they can get help.
And we'll work together collectively on an ongoing basis, not just next month, to develop systems, policies to address when our children are in trouble.
It's change this family is eager to see so that this will never happen again.
It goes beyond posters and bulletins. Words are meaningless without action. We need action, and we need it now.
In Buffalo, I'm Sydney Orr, 7 News.
Time is running out for rescuers to find a submersible that went missing on its way to view wreckage of the Titanic. Oxygen levels for the 5 people on board are expected to expire later this morning, but authorities are still holding out hope after detecting underwater noises for a second straight day. They've rushed more ships and vessels to the site of the disappearance. So far, nothing has turned up. Former President Donald Trump's legal team has started receiving evidence from the Justice Department in the classified documents case. The evidence includes transcripts of grand jury testimony and copies of surveillance footage. It also contains multiple recordings, including a 2021 tape of Trump admitting to keeping a classified document about Iran. Trump is facing 37 federal charges in the probe. He has denied any wrongdoing. The man suspected of leaking military secrets has pleaded not guilty to federal charges. It came just days after the 21-year-old Air National Guard member was indicted by a grand jury. He's been behind bars since April for allegedly posting classified materials on the internet. He faces 6 counts of willful retention and transmission of national defense information. If convicted, he could spend decades in prison.
When you think of artificial intelligence, what comes to mind? Is it a sci-fi movie from the 1980s, or is it something a bit more serious that could potentially cost you your job or impact your child's education? One thing is clear, lawmakers here in Washington are starting to debate artificial intelligence a bit more, with possible changes happening this summer.
We'll see more technological change in the next 10 years than we've seen in the last 50 years.
President Biden discussing the need for more debate on AI Tuesday in California.
AI is unlike anything Congress has dealt with before.
And Senator Chuck Schumer, who leads Democrats in the Senate, detailed Wednesday how he wants Congress to dive into this issue this summer. Schumer wants at least 9 congressional panels formed to discuss ways of preventing privacy losses and job losses. Already, tech giants Microsoft and Google have called on the federal government to speed up the conversation around new regulation and laws. One idea on Capitol Hill is to create a cabinet-level task force to examine the potential consequences of AI. The White House is working to implement an AI Bill of Rights that would mandate Americans know when AI is being used on them, giving Americans the right to have a human interaction, too, if they wish.
We don't know what happens next. But we know it will.
Tom Wheeler is a fellow at the Brookings Institution and is a previous chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC. Wheeler says more regulation is an easy phrase to say. It's much harder to implement. Generally, companies may say they want regulation, but back off if their business model's impacted.
Now we get to the discussion of, okay, what's appropriate regulation? How do you put it in place?
One example of what some fear is take, for instance, a dog riding a skateboard. Yes, a silly concept, but for years, in order to get that image, a graphic designer would need to be hired to build it. Perhaps it would take a day or 2 to even create it. AI, though, allows you to just type up the idea and, like magic, it's there. Yes, that makes life easier, but it could also put that graphic designer out of work. Whether or not Congress can address AI in a meaningful bipartisan way this year is very much to be determined. Bipartisan interest doesn't always mean new laws. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
London, your host for Good to Know. We search high and low for the most positive stories across America. And today we're getting a little help from Spider-Man.
I like how he swings around and fights bad guys. Iron Man comes close to it.
But not quite.
Not quite.
Liam Jurgensen spotted Spider-Man from outside the window at Shriners Children's Hospital in Lexington. The man behind the mask was washing windows and brightening up a lot of kids' day.
Just a lot of excited kids. Just really happy to see Spider-Man come and visit them at the hospital.
Liam is here battling a rare disease
known as CAND. It's a neurological degenerative disorder on a progressive course. Not a lot is known about it. Only 400 people in the world have it.
Yeah.
And Liam is the only one with the variant that he has.
The 13-year-old is channeling superhero strength to fight back.
First, I had to relearn how to walk, and then I had to do that all over again because I had another surgery.
Our motto with Liam is, we can do hard things. The superheroes to him are important because he sees them do the hard things, you know? Yeah, we're fighting all the bad guys. He's an amazing kid.
What a special day for those kids. Love seeing those smiles.
Meat that's grown from labs could soon hit your dinner plate. The Agriculture Department approved the production of lab-grown chicken Wednesday. It comes after the FDA confirmed that the meat was safe to eat. Lab-grown meat is made from animal cells and is not a plant-based substitute. It won't be sold in grocery stores anytime soon, but will instead be rolled out in various restaurants.
And good morning, everyone. The stage is set for what should be a pretty decent day here for the day today. Clouds will be on the increase, but temperatures will be at levels typical of this time of year, with highs back into the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. It is the second day of summer. And I think it will look the part. It will feel the part as well. There will be a few scattered showers and a couple of thundery downpours to talk about as we go into tomorrow. And as we go into the weekend, I think it'll be kind of a 50-50 affair with some rain likely on Saturday, some slow-moving downpours potentially to deal with, and then I think it'll be drying out as we work our way into Sunday. We still have air quality that is in the moderate category here. The air quality is at about 63. Still some fine particulates in the atmosphere, courtesy of what is still some wildfire smoke that is off to our west. Temperatures here for the day today should be climbing into the 70s for the most part, but we should be flirting with 80 by later this afternoon. As far as the Muggy meter is concerned, dew point temperatures are going to be on the increase here as showers and an area of low pressure from our south moves closer to western New York. So icky and sticky kind of coming back here into the forecast. As far as your beach and boating is concerned, water temperatures into the low 60s right now in Lake Erie. We'll have winds out of the east at about 5 to 15 knots. And the UV index is high. It's at a 6. So slip, slop, slap, and wrap. Slip on the t-shirt, slap on the sunscreen, slap on the hat, and wrap on the sunglasses. Rainfall is going to be on the order of maybe about an inch, possibly even an inch and a half, as this area of low pressure to our south nudges a little bit further off to the north. So it's really going to be kind of unsettled as we head into tomorrow and especially into the start of the weekend. So if you have some plans, maybe you're going to be at the Kenmore Porch Festival, you are definitely going to need to make sure that you have the umbrella ready to go. Skies right now are partly cloudy, 64 degrees the temperature, the breeze coming in out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. There is that area of low pressure to our south. Again, it is going to make a slow nudge off to the north, so it will turn unsettled here going into tomorrow. But here for the day today, I think we're pretty much good. There may be an isolated shower through parts of the southern tier later this afternoon. Otherwise, we're looking at temperatures that are largely going to be into the upper 70s. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy. We should be into the mid 70s for a top temp. And again, there will be a better chance for some showers coming in, and especially going into the start of the weekend, we're going to be dealing with some of that rain. For the day today, partial sun, again, an isolated shower. 78 should do it for a top temp. As we go into tonight, it's mostly cloudy. Again, just nothing more than an isolated shower. A little bit more on the muggy side, the overnight low near 60. There is your super 7-day forecast. Again, we've got Taste of Country going on Friday. We've got Porch Fest on Sunday. And temperatures are going to be into the upper 70s to near 80 for the most part. Again, dealing with some scattered showers, especially for later Friday and Saturday. And we'll be right back.
For weeks, protesters in New York City have made their opposition known to possible price hikes for rent-stabilized apartments. Every year, the city's rent guideline board sets a percentage limit on how much landlords can raise the price of rent-stabilized apartments. On Thursday, they'll vote to raise the cap anywhere from 2 to 7%, depending on the lease length. At recent public hearings, landlords and renters have been bitterly divided on the vote.
If you guys do decide to raise the rent, I can guarantee you probably a week after you do that, I will be homeless. So I'm just asking that you please don't raise the rent.
Let's support tenants by enabling their landlords to maintain and enhance their homes for future generations by voting for reasonable RGB increases.
For New Yorkers who don't live in rent-stabilized apartments, data from the National Low-Income Housing Coalition found minimum wage workers need to work at least 109 hours a week to afford a studio apartment in the city. The problem is echoed around the country. Zillow's latest observed rent index says rent in May was nearly 5% higher than it was last year, with typical rent costing over $2,000 a month. And according to the NLIHC, there isn't a single state where low-wage earners can afford median rent on a 2-bedroom apartment. But landlords across the country are struggling against inflation to afford to maintain their properties.
Frankly, I don't see why the government at all should be telling a landlord what the criteria should be.
To put the high rent into perspective, the NLIHC says a full-time worker needs to make nearly $24 an hour to afford a 1-bedroom home in their area. That's nearly triple the federal minimum wage, which hasn't budged from $7.25 an hour in years. Some renters can't keep up, even in states with a $15 an hour minimum wage, like in Washington, where a worker needs to earn over $36 an hour to afford a 2-bedroom rental. In January, the White House released what it calls a renter's bill of rights, which could limit egregious rent increases on properties with federal mortgages and establish eviction prevention and relief. But the trade group, the National Apartment Association, says it's best to leave housing decisions to each individual rental market. Alex Miller, Scripps News, New York.
This Saturday will mark 1 year since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The bombshell decision stripped the constitutional right to an abortion from millions of women. Since then, 14 states with Republican-controlled legislatures passed near total abortion bans. First Lady Jill Biden recently addressed the issue at the White House. She met with women who have been denied essential medical care and called on Congress to act.
The Dobbs decision was devastating, and Joe is doing everything he can do to fight back. But the only way that we can ensure that every woman has the fundamental freedoms she deserves is for Congress to make the protections of Roe v. Wade the law of the land once again.
Since the reversal of Roe v. Wade, some lawmakers and abortion opponents have also targeted certain medications. A federal appeals court is currently weighing whether to revoke FDA approval of the drug mifepristone. The pill is used to terminate pregnancies and miscarriages. Medical experts say women would be negatively affected if the drug was pulled off the market.
I don't know how that's not irreparable harm. Your business basically ceases to exist.
While we have backup drugs that we can use, this is the most effective one. And we know that there will be a substantial harm if it's taken off the market.
Vice President Kamala Harris will mark Saturday's anniversary with a speech about reproductive rights. Abortion supporters and opponents are also expected to rally in several cities.
Streaming live to start your day, this is Good Morning Buffalo.
Good morning, Buffalo. 5 o'clock on your Tuesday morning as we look live at the city of Buffalo this morning and the waterfront. 64 degrees as you're stepping outside. And we've got Josh in for Aaron this morning, who is tracking our forecast. What should we expect today, Josh?
We can expect basically a dry day. Temperatures flirting with 80 degrees, a little bit more humidity. Not too tough to take, really. You know, it is the second day of summer. It will look the part. It will feel the part. And